Coconut jelly is very well known in Asia. It is very easy to make. You don't need much ingredients to make them, and all the ingredients is really easy to find. And in most Cambodian party, you will most likely see this delicious dessert. And today I will show you how to make 3 kinds of coconut jelly. If you are new here, don't forget to press the subscribe button for more delicious homemade recipes. And also press the notification bell so you get notified for all my future videos. Okay, let's get started. And here are all the ingredients. You will need some water, some pandan leaves, some eggs, some jackfruit, some coconut milk, some agar powder, the Champion brand or the fresh brand from any Asian grocery store, some sugar, some agar powder like I said, and then a little bit of salt. And here I like to show you all the containers that I'm going to use, so you have to prepare and get all these containers ready and bowls. You will also need a couple medium-sized pots and then also a couple stirring sticks. We are going to use the room temperature water to mix all the ingredients together. 550 milliliter of water, half a cup of sugar or 100 grams. And here is the agar powder, the Champion brand, or you could also get the fresh brand from any Asian grocery store. 1.5 teaspoon of agar powder or 3 grams. Half teaspoon of salt or 1 gram. Salt in any dessert will give the defined sweet taste to any dessert. Mix and dissolve everything together. And make sure to never use hot water or warm water to dissolve the agar powder. If you do that, the jello will look clumpy when it is time to cook them. Leave that on the side for now, and next we're going to mix the coconut part of the jello. We are going to use 1 whole can of coconut milk, 400 milliliters. This Aroy.D Brand coconut milk is the best kind out there. It has about 70% coconut milk and 30% water. We will use 1 can, that is 400 milliliters. I like this brand, it is good and it's really fresh also. And you can check out the amount of coconut milk that is in that can. It's a lot and I really like that. And you will also need 150 milliliters of cool water. The same thing as the previous pot, half cup of sugar or 100 grams. 1.5 teaspoon of agar powder or 3 grams. And half teaspoon of salt or 1 gram. Mixed and dissolve everything together. Combine and mix everything together until the liquid is uniformly combined. So the look of it should look smooth, just like that. Now we mix the 2 pots. 1 pot is the plain layers and the other pot is the coconut milk layer. Put them on the side for now, and next we're going to get all the other ingredients ready. These long looking leaves are pandan leaves. After you clean them, you're going to tie them into a knot. If you don't want to use the pandan leaves, you don't have to put them. It will give this exotic smell to the jello. You can put 2 strands together and then after you can tie them into a knot whichever way you like. Put them on a plate for now, and next we're going to cut up some jackfruits. Jackfruit is another kind of exotic fruit. You don't need much jackfruit, so you're going to thinly slice them. You can pick up pandan leaves and jackfruit at any Asian grocery store in the frozen sections. And you can turn all of them around at the same time, and after cut them into mini cubes. You don't need much jackfruit. I only used 2 cloves of jackfruits. I don't know if I used the right term for that fruit, like cloves, but it doesn't matter, you know what I mean. And with the 2 pieces or cloves, I just eat them. Put them back into the mini bowl and leave them on the side for now. And here is the third kind, it's the egg kind. We are going to use the egg yolk only to put into the jello, so you can separate the yolk and the egg white. And that's it, we got the three kinds. We got the plain, the jackfruit, and the egg kind. Here are the two pots side by side. I'm only going to cook the base, the clear kind, first. But if you want the coconut to be the first layer or the bottom layer, then you have to cook the coconut milk first. You're going to cook it on high heat first to bring it to boil. And after, you can throw the pandan leaves in. And this part from beginning as you're getting it to boil is really important. Try your best to keep stirring until it gets boiled, so the jello doesn't set in the bottom and get burned. Some pandan leaves may break in there and you can take it out. The reason you want to constant stirring is because you don't want the jello to set in the bottom and it will clump up and it'll get burned. After the liquid is boiling, you're going to turn it to medium heat and you're going to cook it for 30 seconds. And again, constant stirring, and after you can turn off the heat after 30 seconds. And now you can take out the pandan leaves. Now we got the base ready. And next, we're going to set the containers and all the mini bowls. You can pour the liquid jello into the mini bowls or the big containers. I'm pouring the liquid jello into the container first, and after I'm going to pour it into the mini bowls. You're going to pour it into the container about half an inch thick. Now that we finished with the container, next we're going to pour them into the mini bowls. Set up the mini bowls, and after, pour the liquid jello into the mini bowls. If you are using mini bowls like me, you can pour it halfway. You can also pour it more than halfway, but then you just have to make sure that there is some room for the coconut layer. We are going to save some liquid jello to mix it with the eggs. We are going to put the liquid jello back into the stove. And after, we're going to stir the egg so it mixes well together. You're going to turn on the heat and bring it to boil. And after, you're going to pour in the egg bit by bit until there is no more. You only need to cook it for 15 seconds, and after, you can turn off the heat. All the other jello, they haven't set yet. And now we are going to pour the egg jello liquid into the mini bowls. And again, you can pour it halfway or more, it's up to you. You can save some room for the coconut layer later. The jelly in the bigger containers, it's not set yet. Now it is the perfect time to put all the jackfruits that we cut up. And let's say that you only want to make this jackfruit kind, then you could put it into a big container and cut up the jackfruit and put it all in the same way. And after, we're going to put it into the refrigerator so it could set there faster while we are doing the coconut layers. Right after you put all those jello to set in the refrigerator, you're going to come back to the pot that we pre-mixed with the coconut jelly. Turn on the heat to high heat and bring it to boil and throw in your pandan leaf. And again, with the important step, as you are bringing the liquid to boil, keep stirring. And as soon as the liquid boils, turn it down to medium heat and cook it for 30 seconds. And depending on how big your pot, it may spill when it boils. But by stirring and lower the heat will calm down the bubbles. After 30 seconds on medium heat, you can turn off the heat and take out the pandan leaves. And by now, all the jelly that are in the refrigerator should set and get firm. And just like I show you, when you press it, it's not liquidy, it's firm already. And next, we're going to pour the coconut layer on the top. For this mini bowl that I use, I pour it all the way to the top. But if you are using a square container, you can put 1/2 inch in the bottom layer and 1/2 inch on the top layers. And now we are done with the plain coconut jelly. And here is the jackfruit container. You're going to pour the coconut layer on top, about 1/2 inch. Like I said, so you could pour 1/2 inch in the bottom layer and 1/2 inch on the top layer. And now we finish with the jackfruit coconut jelly. I almost forgot to tell you this. Since we poured the egg jelly last, we're going to pour the coconut layer last also. While you are pouring the other two kinds, you don't have to take the egg kind out yet from the refrigerator. Since this jello is not as firm in the middle, I'm going to use a metal spoon to protect while pouring the top layers. By doing it this way, it will not break the bottom layers and it will gently pour in. You can do the same method to the rest. This egg yolk kind of coconut jelly, it really brings back the memories with my parents of the late night treat. And based on my childhood memory, I decided to show you what is commonly sold as a dessert in Cambodia. Every time after I pour the coconut layer out, like the leftover, just a little bit, I normally eat them. It's so good. After done pouring the coconut layer in, if you decided to move it, make sure to only gently move it by sliding it. Let it set in one area for 15 minutes before move them into the refrigerator to get cool. And here is the jackfruit kind. And these mini bowls, it is the plain kind. So there are 4 bowls of the plain kind and 4 mini bowls of the egg kind. And next, I'm going to show you how you can take it out of the container. So you are going to use a really thin sharp knife. You are going to edge all 4 corners all around. You're going to gently do that. And after, you're going to use a big flat plate to cover it and flip it over. And normally the first try, it never worked. You may gently have to re-edge them with a really sharp knife, and then after, that is when it can come out. And if you want to flip it over, the only way that you could flip it over by putting another plate and flip it over, just like that. As for the mini bowls, it's not that hard to take it out. The same method, you're going to use a really thin sharp knife to edge all around and then slide it out. Since we pour the jelly to the top of the mini bowls, it is not that hard to take them out. I hope this video will help you to make 3 kinds of delicious coconut jelly for you and your family at home. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share with your family and friends. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel for more delicious homemade recipes. And also press the notification bell so you get notified for all my future videos. Okay, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye for now.